Poverty is one of the main problems in the modern world, which must be solved as soon as possible. However, in order to defeat poverty, each of us must make efforts to help the poor. I want to tell you my story. I was sitting in a cafe by the window at lunch. On the other side of the passerby stood a man of old age with a dark skin color but with unusually kind eyes. He was dressed unattractively, you can even say poorly, stood and begged. On passersby people, he looked with kindness and a slight smile. I watched him for a while, had my lunch and left the cafe. On the second day, I again visited the same cafe and again my eyes met yesterday's old man. I was seized by the feeling of déjà vu, as if yesterday did not end. Time, the old man, his battered clothes, a handkerchief for which the kinds of passersby fell casually. I and my thoughts. After a while, he went to a cafe and bought a snack for himself. In the form of a freshly baked bread in the East, it is called kulcha. The cashier took his coins from the old man with contempt and continued to serve the customers. The old man relaxed in a smile and immediately left. On the other place of the old man stood a little boy, about 5 years old. He stood and looked at the passersby with a questioning gaze. I suddenly became even more interesting, and what picture will follow next? Suddenly the old man breaks an already small bread and hands it to the boy himself, and apparently he did not expect it. He timidly stretched his thin band to meet their common for today's dinner and cheerfully began to chew still warm bread. On the third day, I again visited the cafe and again saw the old man I knew. At that time, I remember the story my father used to tell me when I was a boy. In the old days, in the East, in the culture of our people, there was a tradition where noble people in the allocated places made a donation in favor of poor townspeople, where they could come and take as much as they needed, and no one knew who made the donation and who could use these funds. After a while, this ancient tradition ceased to exist. Since no one needed help, I decided to talk with the authorities of the cafe and offer them to the attention to renew the ancient tradition that today takes place in our life. To which I received the answer, yes, we agree to be useful. So the idea was born under the slogan, "Thank you for your help." Where a person who wants to help his neighbor paid for his meal. Helping people is a selfless good deed, a word, an act that helps to cope with illness, bad mood, unpleasant events of life. Not everyone can help. Today in the world of money, people are often only concerned with themselves. Spiritual values, unfortunately, tend to material ones. It's very difficult to meet a person who is ready to help absolutely free of charge to another person. People, do not forget your culture. Help each other and the world will become a little kinder.